when I uncovered evidence of rape and the illegal filming of women and sex trafficking, I didn't just see victims. I saw a system that failed to protect them. I saw criminals who thought they could get away with it because no one had the guts, no one had the courage, no one had the bravery to hold them accountable because we are filled with cowards. I will burn this system to the ground if I have to.
Burning bridges to light the way forward. That's what South Carolina Representative Nancy Mace said were her intentions as she took to the House floor in a heated speech on Monday. Mace spent the hour accusing her ex-fiancé of physically abusing her, recording sex acts with her and others without their consent, and conspiring with business associates in acts of rape and sexual misconduct. Mace said she was speaking out because her home state's top prosecutor, Attorney General Alan Wilson, didn't take action even after she alerted investigators. Queen City News spoke to the Attorney General Tuesday. Here's what he had to say.
I'm not concerned with anything else other than the credibility of my office and the men and women in law enforcement who she is undermining and attacking their credibility. By attacking my credibility, she's attacking the countless men and women in blue who are out there trying to do justice, try to do right by her and every victim. Again, what she said last night on the floor of Congress about me and about my office are categorically false, and it is misleading the public. And she's banking on people not understanding how the criminal justice system works. She's banking on that because she is really trying to create a publicity stunt here. And frankly, I think it's very sad that you would politicize the criminal justice system this way.
All right, this is going to be a heated discussion for sure. We're bringing in our chief legal analyst, Khalif Rhodes, to help break this all down. Good morning. We're starting off in a heated discussion, obviously scathing allegations from Representative Nancy Mace as a defense attorney. You want to be in the position of defending Mace or defending Attorney General Alan Wilson? I'm putting you on the spot here, but this is there's a lot being pointed at here.
I can do a little bit of both. Let's start with Mace. Obviously, if she's a victim of sexual assault in South Carolina, sexual conduct, I would say I'm sure that any type of folks that are dealing with that investigation will do all the things they need to do to ensure that anyone that did a crime against her is prosecuted to the full extent. South Carolina does not have any statute of limitations. This happened 50 years ago, 12 years ago, 2 days ago. They'll be able to take action if it happened in South Carolina. If it happened somewhere else, it would be state by state. So by all means, I would say I'm defending anyone that's ever been a victim of sexual assault, sexual abuse, rape, anything like that. But I also will stand with Wilson. If you're attempting to break down or burn down a system, first you got to recognize how that system works. I listened to his interview with Brian. I think Brian Blakely did an excellent job asking him the right questions. Specifically, he said, well, why didn't your office do anything with this case? And he said, well, because my office doesn't do that. Typically, the Attorney General doesn't handle criminal cases. So let's start there. They do have a criminal division, but you would go to your local, in South Carolina, solicitor's office. So you would start with law enforcement. That's the police department. That's your state troopers. That's your sheriff's department. Pick any one of those folks. Give them the case. You'd go and file a police report, and then they take over. You give all information to them. So he hit on that. He said, hey, we tried to give Wilson our information. He rejected it. He clarified and said, no, we didn't reject it. We told her, we tell every victim, don't give me anything because that will taint the investigation. Give it to law enforcement. Law enforcement will thoroughly investigate it, and then they will give us a case. It's called papering a case. They will paper the case to the prosecuting agency, and then the prosecuting agency then will take over the case. Everything he said was 100% how every case I've ever dealt with happens. And so I would agree with his process that my office doesn't handle this because we haven't received a case yet.
There needs to be procedures followed to the T. And I mean, these are obviously very serious allegations and they should be taken seriously. One of the first things I thought of is we're getting into libel here, but there are clauses that protect speech delivered on the House floor. Can you explain that?
I love it. I love it. I mean, you want to ensure that our elected officials, our state reps, our senators have an opportunity to be on in either chamber and say something openly without having to worry about if I say this today, can I be sued tomorrow? And so those protections are there, constitutionally protected to ensure that they have some type of seal around them, insulated, right? However, if it goes from debate, and that's what it's called, debate protection, and it moves to something called political speech, I think that's where the area gets a little gray. And Wilson talked about that. He said, look, I don't want to address that. That's probably for more legal minds that are different than I am. But I would say that her conversation, her speech drifted away from debate, and it kind of went to political. Why? Because this is a future political opponent. And so a number of things were posted prior to her making the statements on the floor. And so I think if you take that combination, she could have opened herself up to some future liability from Wilson and for any of those 4 individuals, because any of those statements seem to go outside of the political, outside of the debate and more to the political and more to the attacking. I think she would still be protected, but it's going to be really, really close.
And just to clarify there, Mace eyeing a run at governor, and Alan Wilson also eyeing a possible run at governor. I do want to ask, they got this case in December of 2023. What's the normal timeline that you would look for something to come out of the case? Because is it a question of it's been a year, she doesn't have anything?
Unlimited timeline. What you do is you work backwards. And so every case that I've ever seen from law enforcement, there's a crime that occurs, and now they're just working backwards from the day that the crime happened as far as it needs to go. And so if the evidence takes it 5 years to go back, if it takes 2 years to go back, if it's 1 month to go back, it really doesn't matter how far from the actual incident occurred, because it may take you a year to talk to the number of witnesses. It may take you a year to find any video evidence, to get a cell phone dump. That process takes a long time, and you want a thorough investigation. You don't want something quick. You don't want folks to rush to judgment. You want to ensure that you give them an opportunity. And so I tell all my clients, hey, I'm meeting with you today. I don't have discovery yet. That's the POW. That's the case. That's all the facts they have. It may take me 6 months. It may take me a year. When I get it, I'll make sure that you have it. In this case, it's the same way. The prosecutors are waiting for the detectives, for law enforcement to do their job. Go out and investigate this case. Make sure you can verify what she's saying. And if you can verify it, rest assured they will prosecute everyone that's connected to this case.
And I do want to make a quick mention too. Her ex-fiance did speak to the Associated Press and said he categorically denies the allegations. He takes the matter seriously and says he'll cooperate with any necessary legal processes to clear his name. So you have the other side there. Khalif, thank you.